Clarity LIMS, you have an option to create different types of custom fields. These are going to be fields that you will need to capture the appropriate metadata to track your sample successfully throughout the lab. In this video, we are going to talk about measurement custom fields. Measurement fields are going to be the fields configuration choice in steps that are configured to be QC types. For example, in the Qubit QC DNA 5.0 step, if we look at the configuration of the step by clicking on the step or the master step and scroll down, we can see the specific step was configured to be standard QC. Let's say we would like to capture the dilution factor of these samples, if there happens to be one used during the Qubit assay. If we take a look at this Qubit step, we can see that there are only 3 fields being captured here: the QC flag, concentration, and concentration units. One thing I would like to point out on a QC step is that for each sample, there are 2 lines. If we click on sample 1, we will see 2 highlighted lines. Everything on the first line is going to be referenced to the input sample. Everything on the second line is going to be any of the metadata collected by the QC assay. To get a new field here, we are going to open up the Configuration tab. Click on Custom Fields and go to Global Fields. Here we'll have the measurement grouping, and we can expand this section out by clicking the arrow. All of the field names need to be unique. If you tried to add a field name that already exists, you will get an error. For measurement fields, if this field already exists, you can either use the field name that exists in the system. If you were going to use a field that already exists, I would look at how the field was configured to see if there are any presets. If there is, and you make changes, just know that this will affect other steps in the system. From there, you can make a judgment call to see if the field should be updated or create a new field with a slightly different name. I'm going to now add a field called dilution factor. Click the green plus button, add your field name, and once you give the field a name, do not press save yet. The immediate next thing you should do is define the field type. You have a few different options for this configuration. You can select text or text dropdown, which will be alphanumeric. You can select numeric or numeric dropdown, which will be numbers only. Hyperlink or hyperlink dropdown, which will appear as a link in the UI. Multi-line text, which I do not recommend having this configuration type on a per sample level because it does not show up well in the UI and will only show up as a single line. A toggle switch, which will appear as a checkbox in the UI, or date, which is brought in as a date format. For now, I'm going to make this a numeric field. I'm choosing numeric because if we want to use one of the toolkits to do some type of calculation on this field, having it as numeric will make it slightly easier. Once you've confirmed the field name and the field type, then click Save. After you hit Save, you will notice that the field type gets locked in. This is why we don't want to click Save right away. To add this field to my step, I'm going to go back to lab work. Then I'm going to click on my step and then click on Record Details because that is where I would like the field to be displayed. Scroll all the way down to the bottom and underneath Table Columns, click the blue plus. A pop-up will appear on the right side of the screen, and we want to make sure we select Measurement. The new field will be all the way at the bottom. Click the field name, then click the blue check. Then scroll up and click Save. If we want to see this field closer to the front, next to our other two fields, we can click it. A fist will form, and we can drag and drop it forward. Then we'll want to click Save one more time. Now if we go back to our step and click Refresh, we will see the dilution factor on the second line of each sample, waiting to have a value to be entered.